Okay, boys and girls, I thought my injuries from dirt biking on January 20th needed to be updated. So, running into a barbed wire fence at 10 p.m. on the 19th, and then rescuing my bike through a series of stupidity. Whether or not that makes sense, that's the shortest way I could put it. I could say that my two broken metacarpal, number 4 and 5 on my right hand, are okay. My bruises on my right shoulder are okay. I'm pretty sure I broke or fractured or whatever, seriously injured a couple bones in my left hand as well. My left hand hurts more than my right hand, but it is the one I'm using, and so that would make sense. My pinkies, here, okay, we'll start recording. The swelling in this pinky went down. It was quite large for a day. I mean, like that large throughout. But now that one's mostly done swelling. It's going down. That's still a little swollen. The swelling in the two ends have gone down. We'll take an account. I still will be wearing the half cast, half brace, and then all the assortment to put it together. Here, my right hand doesn't hurt to move like just now, but you can tell the broken bone is underneath number 4 and 5. That would be the ring finger and the pinky. The metacarpals are in the palm, so like my fingers are okay, but the palm, you don't want to use this bone or the muscles around it, or this bone or the muscles around it. The middle finger's fine, index is fine, thumb's fine, but the middle finger is showing some significant bruising. You can see all the green. We whacked it really good, boy, I tell you what. So where that would be, either way. So metacarpal number 4 and 5 are the two bones that go from that knuckle to the base where all of these jumbled wrist bones are. And so this bone, number 4, was fractured diagonally, so you could see a really clear diagonal break. Number 5, I couldn't see the break as clearly, but apparently they identified it. There's some nice discoloration. That purple, I don't know what's going on with my camera. You can see the purple where that bone's broke. But yeah, got some healing to do there. I'm keeping band-aids on. I'm letting it dry out right now, but some bandages. But all of this is from the barbed wire fence and the tree I ran into at 10 p.m. on Saturday night, the 19th. This is from the barbed wire fence and the tree I ran into Saturday night. I don't know if I can get a good picture of that. I'll try without reversing the camera. I'll probably reverse the camera too. Let's see what happens. So some nice green colors going on there, huh? You can see the bruising right there at the peak. I can't point and record at the same time. But like in general, I can hold a Coke. These two fingers are fine. This finger's fine. These fingers are fine, but I'm not using my hand for anything. Like, it's going to be very important to keep the half brace on these 3 fingers, this one for the strength, these 2 because they're broken in the palm. But well, it's very important for me, I believe, to keep these 3 immobilized for 4 weeks. Everything I read said that these fractures are very common in athletes. This is going to be a very common break. And so I don't want anything to do with an orthopedic surgeon if things are fine. The reading says that if it's above a 15-degree angle, the break, then it sometimes needs surgery, but it's not going to need surgery for the most part if there's less than a 15-degree angle in the bone. And so the bone's supposed to be straight. It's still straight. I'm sure it is. The x-ray said it was straight. Everything I'm feeling says it's straight. None of the muscles are severely rubbing on that broken spot. And so we're just going to keep number 4 and 5 really immobilized. I mean, like, obviously I'm not doing it right now, but we will. We'll give you a picture of my back and then call it good. This is something I'm really proud of. Let me change my camera. Riding motocross for one whole day is starting to get my wear spot back. And so this is from holding on to the bike for dear life. I am so happy to see that. It's been 12 years since I had one of those. Man, that KX500, woo boy. You have to hold on to that mug, but it will take you over everything. All you have to do is point and pull that throttle, and you will go up and over anything you want. I'm so excited. We'll give you the rear view mirror for the back. The back is swelling pretty good. This is swelling a lot yesterday and then more today. Probably broke the no off of one of my vertebrae. I don't know about spinal injuries except that my back is fine, but one of the vertebrae, I know one of my vertebrae up here, I have a shoveler's break, and so the muscle from shoveling and such, the muscle pulls so hard on the vertebra that the knob comes off. So I know one of my knobs is 90 degrees up here from a childhood thing. But this one here, boy, it's a good reminder not to go through a barbed wire fence and hit a tree or something. But otherwise, boys and girls, guess what? If I would have gotten those a day prior, my handlebar guards, then I wouldn't have broke my freaking hand. Those came in the mail a day late. I can't wait to put them on. But otherwise, I think we're gonna make it, you know? If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough, like they say on the Jackass song. If you get knocked down, you gotta get back up. What do you do? I should have hit my engine kill switch when my bike overheated. I have never had a bike peg out at 12,000 RPMs because of overheating, but the guy I was riding with said, yep, the KX500 is going to be susceptible to overheating when you're dicking around like we were. It's supposed to be out in the open flying. It's supposed to be a track bike that is wide open and getting air through those radiator fins to cool off the antifreeze, therefore cool off the engine. We were doing some really cool trail riding. Like, man, this guy knew what he was doing. He was going fast and hard, and there was lots of little short hill climbs, really technical hill climbs. Down here it's all limestone, so there's no dirt hill climbs that we were on. Not one single dirt hill climb. It's all limestone. It sucks. But But really cool technical hill climbs in between all this massive, endless trail riding he was leading me on. And the bike, it's not ever going to like that winding through the trees type of business. The bike, it can't get enough airflow across the fins to keep the engine cool. So the bike overheated officially. It was, I could have swore that the bike was pegged out at 12 to 14,000 RPMs because the throttle cable got caught on a branch and it stretched it. That was my previous experience hearing the KX500 just wrapped out at 12,000 RPMs. The engine kill switch wouldn't kill it. Like in a previous experience, hearing this 14,000 RPMs, wah, the engine kill switch wouldn't kill our 250. And so we ended up putting it in the notch of a tree and letting out the clutch, and it killed itself because the back tire finally stopped. So when the bike, at 3 p.m. on Sunday the 20th, the bike was wrapped out at 12,000 RPMs, and I'm pretty sure I forgot to try the kill switch and to just kill it electronically. It had overheated, which results in the bike deciding to wrap itself up at 12,000 RPMs. And so I put the bike into the notch of a tree as quick as I could, like really, really quick. And I let out the clutch, thinking if I dumped the clutch, it would die. Unfortunately, I didn't put it in a high gear. I left it in first or second gear when I dumped the clutch. And so it just spun all the tread off the back tire. Like there's like a half inch of tread left on the back tire. It wasn't really nice anyways. They should have put a new back tire on it to sell it. But the back tire was fine. It is not fine anymore. It's got a half inch of tread, which it's still a lot of tread. And plus it looks kind of new because it's flat now. Or like all the nubs are flat. But the bike sat there in the notch of this tree, tearing up the back tire, rubbing off the knobs. Finally, I tried the engine kill switch, and it worked. So I should not have run the bike into a tree as fast as I could to try to dump the clutch and get it to die. I felt really bad for a couple days, and I questioned my logic on why didn't I think of trying the engine kill switch, or how could I have overlooked that? And in the end, it doesn't matter. If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. Cool. You just keep going. Get knocked down, you got to get back up. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing, man. Turns out minor broken bones. We'll give you a report in 3 months and tell you if making a decision not to go to an orthopedic surgeon was a good idea or not. But everything I read on sportsmedicine.com, all these reports, they say you're fine. Bike is fine. The engine was rebuilt 300 hours before I bought it, and now it's got 6 hours on it. So if there's any way to test the compression now, I don't know what happens from letting the bike sit at 12,000 RPMs for 60 seconds. It felt like a whole 60 seconds. It might have been wrapped out for all of 45 seconds. Man, it was so scary with that bike at 12,000 RPMs, that back tire tearing, knowing how dangerous the chain at that speed is and the back tire. I was keeping the bike upright, and it was digging itself a nice little rut in the rock hard clay down here. But if that bike had gone sideways and caught me in the back tire, it would have been dirty. Very, very strong lessons learned about that bike. That is a monster of a bike. They warned me that the 250 would hurt me, and they warned me when I bought the other 250 that it would hurt me. And they were good bikes, but they wouldn't do what I need them to in the end. Maybe if they were 350s. but the KX250 doesn't do what I need it to. Um, and so the KX500, wow, it's going to do everything I need it to, and it is very dangerous. I'll leave with one last comment is Bill Britt, one of the big salespeople in Amway, he said, I own 43 cars. I have a garage that will hold 50. All my cars are great. And then there's the Lamborghini. When I get in the Lamborghini, I'm afraid. You don't touch the gas pedal in the Lamborghini with anything more than a bare foot and one single digit on your toes. He said the Lamborghini is something to be respected. And so that's the only thing I could really wrap my head around this KX500. I will never, ever, ever doubt this bike. It's scary. It's a monster, man. If it ever gets out from underneath me like that again, I hope I make the right decisions. Try that kill switch. I hope I don't ever start to get cocky on the bike. I've never had a motorcycle where I had to respect it and start to learn my place and learn my limits on it. So I'm really glad to be in that position. That's a good place to be. It's going to require me to grow and change. The engine problem, not problem, but the facts about the engine will require me to get a radiator cap with a thermometer on it. This guy, Yash, that I was riding with, Yash, he's from Houston. He was riding the same terrain I was, so I asked him if I could ride with him. And he's the one that gave me some of this information, all of this information. He had a digital readout, and so he had it would be a thermostat on his engine that told him the coolant temperature and then the outside engine temperature. And so I will get one of those so I know if my engine is overheating, and I'll have a little digital readout on my handlebar to always keep track of it. Plus, I've heard it recommended that you have heat tape on your thermometer. It's not heat tape, that's the wrong word, that's an actual other thing. But thermometer on the exhaust. So glad to be moving forward. Glad to find out that I can hold my phone with my right hand. It doesn't hurt. I'm taking really minor medications. Tylenol with codeine. I opted out of the hydrocodone. And so things really aren't that painful. We'll keep it wrapped up and deal with ibuprofen after these two last Tylenol with codeines run out. But love y'all. Deuces.